It is my pleasure today to welcome all of our speakers. We have Amanda, Meredith, Jennifer, and Christine. But before we hear from them, I wanted to start by sharing a video from last year's walk. Thanks for sharing that, Marianne. I love watching that video. I've seen it a few times, and I think every time I see it, I see a few new faces. So maybe some of you recognized yourself in there. Certainly a great way to get us started here today. I now would like to welcome Amanda Stanton. She works with Ovarian Cancer Canada as the Director of Community Engagement and Events. And she's going to share with us a little bit about what the walk is and why it exists. So over to you, Amanda.
Hi, everybody. I am so pleased to be here today to talk a little bit more about walk, how you can get involved, and also some sort of tips and tricks on how to navigate the registration flow and also the participant center, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But wanted to start off today with what is the walk? So our background and history, a little bit of an overview here, and then we're going to hear from some of our other panelists as well. So the Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk of Hope was founded by Peggy Truscott in 2002. Peggy wanted to create a place where women and families living with ovarian cancer could connect with one another, fundraise, and be surrounded by a community of support. So Peggy started a movement, really. So in 2002, the walk raised just over 50,000. Fast forward 20 years later, we held our very first hybrid walk last year. We raised over $1.4 million. And so altogether, over these 20 years, the walk itself has raised over $32 million. So it is really it's the largest and most powerful event of its kind in the country. It's the only walk in Canada to really direct all attention and fundraising towards improving outcomes and saving the lives of people living with and at risk of ovarian cancer. And did just want to share this really wonderful quote from our past CEO. When I think back on the day Peggy Truscott came to tell me about an idea she had, it fills me with gratitude to have known such a force of nature. In the midst of her treatment, Peggy was determined to create a time and space for those like her who were affected by ovarian cancer. And so really, what does the walk look like now? How can you get involved? How can you participate? So there are a couple different ways. depending on your preference. You can register as an individual walker and come out on walk day. You can start a team or maybe join one that's already in existence. You can choose to volunteer at a walk location. If you don't see a walk location in your area and you're really keen to get one started, please reach out to us. We would love to add more locations across the country. So that's a possibility as well. Maybe cutting it a little close for this year, but let's talk about 2024. And then, of course, you can also register virtually and walk your way, which my friends on the panel are going to get to in a few moments. So I will pass it back to Steph to talk a little bit more about these ways to participate.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. I have been involved with the walk now for 9 years. This will be my 10th walk coming up. And I can honestly say it's just a truly powerful and impactful event to have everybody together and such a sense of community. I would now like to introduce you to Meredith Gowling. Meredith was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in July of 2021. And after she finished her treatments, Meredith wanted to do something meaningful, and that led her to become involved in the Walk of Hope. Meredith walks in Ottawa, and I'm going to pass it over now to Meredith to let you tell a little bit more about her story.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining this webinar. It's absolutely fabulous. I hear that there's some people from Ottawa as well, too. So, yay, welcome. So yeah, I was diagnosed 2 years ago now, and it has definitely been a journey. And I'm actually now heading into more treatment. But in the meantime, my goal, and has been since the beginning, is to live well and to live healthily, and so that I can have as much life enjoyment as possible. And so far it has worked out very, very well. And as a matter of fact, just yesterday I was out kayaking again. So one of my joys. Last spring, after I had finished a year ago, after I had finished initial treatments and surgery, I was feeling quite a bit better and reached out to Ovarian Cancer Canada because I really wanted to do something meaningful. I have found that there was so little awareness and so little treatment options, simply because there hasn't been enough research with ovarian cancer, like there has been for other cancers like breast cancer and prostate cancer, which have amazingly high survival rates. And that really fired me up, not just for me, but for everyone that's coming after me. Family members, and friends, and my granddaughter, all that who could be, at risk for ovarian cancer. We just don't know enough about what drives it, and we also don't have enough awareness about symptoms. And so that's what really fired me up. And when I reached out to Ovarian Cancer Canada, it was with those goals in mind. How could I bring more awareness out to here? And the Walk of Hope was one of their suggestions with me to get involved with. And so last year I did. I went out and I walked in Ottawa with some friends, and it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. It was just this sea of teal blue people celebrating life and celebrating hope and celebrating that they were there with loved ones, and also wanting in each of their own ways to spread, this message that we demand better outcomes, and we want, our governments and all of our institutions, to know this and to grab onto this, and hopefully then spur on research. And of course, funding is a huge thing, with this, right? With the funds, there's no research. So I was, hugely excited by it all. And so this year, I am now honored to be the face and voice of this year's Ovarian Cancer Walk of Hope, across the country. And I'm absolutely thrilled And hopefully, we can get as many people to join this year as absolutely possible and make it the best year ever. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Meredith. You said a couple of things there that really hit home with me, and one of them was celebration, and it is really a celebration. It truly is. In celebrating life, and that we're here, and that we're walking for those that can't be here as well. The other thing you said that really I loved, it says we demand better outcomes, and you're 100% right. We do demand better outcomes, and together we'll walk on September 10th and demand for better outcomes. Next up, I would like to introduce you to Jennifer Smith. Jennifer was diagnosed in 2001 with stage 3C, high-grade serous carcinoma. Jennifer has been involved in the Walk of Hope now for 10 years, and she is the driving force behind the Pole Walkers for a Cure. Jennifer, I'm going to pass it over to you to share a little bit about some of the fundraising that you do and why it's important to be involved in the walk.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. It was great, Meredith. I really identified with a lot of the things that you were saying, and particularly that we do demand better outcomes, because one of the reasons, of course, that I've been involved with the walk, and like you, Stephanie, this is my 10th walk and the 9th walk with the Pole Walkers for a Cure. And we're demanding better outcomes. And one of the reasons, of course, that we're walking, and that the same people have been walking with me in our team for these 9 years, is that we truly believe that if we're all working together, we will get better outcomes. We will find a cure for this disease. We will find early detection, and we will protect our nieces, our granddaughters, our sisters. We will protect all those coming behind us so that they are not facing the same things that we have gone through. Our fundraising team is, I'm happy to say we've been actually top fundraisers in British Columbia and Victoria and across Canada. We're a very small team. And I guess if I were to give some advice to anybody out there who wants to start doing some fundraising and getting a team together, I'd say, set up a team. It doesn't have to be a big team. We've got, I think, maybe 14 active members in our team. More people walk with us during the walk, but we have about 14 active members on the team. And I think since we have started, including what we've made this year so far, we have raised over $120,000. So I'm quite proud of the team for that. One of the things that we have found is that our success in fundraising is when we actually look at what can we do best? Like, what are the things that we like to do, and what can we do best? So, for example, we have some members who are wood carvers, others who are knitters or sewers. I love baking. So we have learned to concentrate our fundraising on the things that we love to do. So we hold things like afternoon teas in the garden, and they have been extremely successful. I think this year we served probably about 130 guests afternoon tea in our garden. And we hold a bake sale, we hold a pop-up market. We do activities the whole year. We don't just concentrate our fundraising between April and September. We actually do it all year long. So we have a summer pop-up market and bake sale. We have a winter pop-up market and bake sale. I take baking orders all year long. One of the easy things that we do that people may want to consider is that we are a registered charity with our bottle depots here in Victoria, 4 of them, where people can take back their bottle returns or their cans, and they can donate their money to the Pole Walkers for a Cure. And we have some active members who actually regularly collect bottles from their condos or their townhouse complexes and take them back to the depot. One lady has a little network of about 5 or 6 friends who do that. We call them the bin ladies, and we had a celebration tea with them not too long ago. And this year we have probably raised about $1,700 just from bottle returns. So it's a good way of raising money, and it's not too time consuming. other than having to go and sort your bottles. We have found that there are a lot of people who don't like to ask for donations. They get embarrassed about that. And of course, we know that most people don't donate because they don't get asked. But we have found that if we actually give people something in return, we will get good donations. So we give them an afternoon tea, we give them baking, we give them things that we are selling. So they donate to us because they're getting something in return. It's not just us asking for money. And they also enjoy it because they come with their friends. We're able to actually develop a huge network this way as well, because we have people that we don't even know come and have afternoon tea in the garden. We started off with just our pole walkers being our supporters, and now we have a vast amount of supporters. We have actually been doing afternoon teas over on Salt Spring Island, and it was very, very successful over there. We had, far more than we could actually take on wanting to come for tea. And, I think we've done well, but, we started off very small. And I think that people should not think that because they're a small team that they cannot raise money. When we started off, I think our first year we made $1,600. And last year we made almost 27,000. And this year we've just surpassed our goal of 25,000. And we have 25,300 right now. So I'm going to up our goal a bit and see how far we can actually go this year. So think about different things that you can do that you like to do, that your team members are good at doing. Set your goal small. You can always increase the goal, and communicate. We communicate a lot. We communicate with all the people that come, for example, to our afternoon teas. I send each of them a photograph of them around the tea table with a thank you note. All my team members, I'm constantly sending them notes. After each of our events, we send out notes and we give updates to all of our supporters on where we are. So we've actually really have created a good network of friends as well as supporters. We've gone out into the community. We have places that will actually help us. We have a lavender farm on Salt Spring that sells products for us. We do lavender madeleines, lavender truffles, and lavender shortbread, and we make photo postcards, and they sell them in their farm shop, and all the donations come to Ovarian Cancer, and they have brochures and they have information there. So they're helping us raise awareness, which is key, I think, to us being able to get our vital funds for research. We have a bulk store here in Victoria that gives me all my baking needs at cost. And we have other stores that have sold during COVID. They sold masks for us. So we have actually, done a lot. We have Murchie's Teas that give us all the tea and coffee for our afternoon teas. So we have, we're really creating that community so that we're getting out there, we're getting the word about ovarian cancer out, and we're raising the awareness. So I would say, think outside the box, think of things that you can do that you like to do. If things don't work well, drop them and find something else. Each year we try to find something that's new to give to our supporters. We have found in the past that when we've done garage sales, they don't work as well as selling our new items. So we've actually now dropped doing the garage sales because we found we were left with too many things that we had to then dispose of at the thrift shops ourselves. And for the amount of work, we were getting a lot more money from some of our other activities. And that's our goal, is to get as much as possible for Ovarian Cancer Canada. All our money that we raise goes to Ovarian Cancer Canada, and so that we can get some of that vital research, and we can find those cures and the early detection, so that we all have a good chance. So, and that's why I'm walking as well. I want to make sure that we're spreading the word, that we're raising the awareness. And as a 22-year survivor, I also want to give hope to a lot of people who are newly diagnosed, and And it's a great way of networking. It's a great way of getting out there. And I love doing the walk every year. And as you say, Meredith, I love seeing that sea of women in front of me walking in their teal, and also those in their white shirts out there supporting us. So I would say let's all get out there and let's network and let's fundraise. And fundraising is a great way of talking to people and informing them about ovarian cancer. My teas are great because I have a captive audience. They can't leave until they finish their tea. So I get to talk about ovarian cancer, and they're surprised when I tell them the statistics, and they're surprised when I tell them the different rates of survival between breast cancer, prostate cancer, and ovarian cancer. And that if we were able to get more research dollars and we were able to talk more about it, then our outcomes would be much better as well. And I think it's important also. One of the little things that we do is we have men in our Pole Walkers for a Cure group, and they talk to the men, and they give the message to the men that if your wives are not feeling well, get them to a doctor. Don't just think it's something else. Make sure they go to see doctors. And I think that's really important too, that this is not just something that's affecting women, it's affecting all our families and our friends. So it's important to get the men involved as well in finding some of the outcomes. So it's I'm looking forward to this year's walk, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well we can do on our fundraising this year. We set ourselves a challenge every year, and that's part of the fun. And we want to make sure we always keep the fun in our fundraising. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Very inspiring to hear where you started to where you are now in terms of fundraising. So to those of you listening, don't be intimidated. You have to start somewhere. Jennifer, you said a couple of great points in there that I just wanted to elaborate on. And one of those was find what you're good at, or find people in your network that are good at something and utilize that. I know personally for my team, I have a very good friend who is an excellent woodworker. So I asked him to make me a cornhole game, a summer beanbag toss game. So he made me a cornhole game, and we put the ovarian cancer teal ribbon on it. And I sold tickets for that, just put it on Facebook, and I sold tickets, and we raised over $2,000 with one post. My friends shared it, members of my team shared it. I also have a huge garden. So last year before the walk, we did another draw. Again, my team members just put it on Facebook, and we did a harvest bounty basket. So we had a whole bunch of fresh produce from my garden. One team member made cinnamon buns. My mother-in-law made grandma buns. And again, I think we made over $1,500 just on one raffle. So excellent advice on finding what you're good at and trying to be creative with doing that. Knowing that though, there are many different ways and types of fundraising, and not everybody does events and things like that. And there are many ways. So I'm going to introduce you now to Christine Fornwald. Christine is the team captain of Wheat Kings and Pretty Things. Christine was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2017, and she has had a team at the Walk of Hope in Regina, Saskatchewan. This will be her 5th year. So welcome, Christine, and I'll invite you to just share a little bit about your team.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. And wow, Jennifer, you're awfully inspiring to all your fundraising that you do. That has just kind of made it hit home with me a little bit more that I could probably do more than I have been. We farm, so of course September is really a busy time for me, but I'm going to have to think about doing some more things throughout the year. But what I do is I do just email, and I have a really strong group of supporters that help me to raise money for the Walk of Hope, and I'm really grateful to them because I just send them an email and they participate and they send in donations. So it's pretty simple what I do. In my email, I try to highlight some of the advances that their money has made, especially in Saskatchewan. We were struggling for quite a number of years getting enough gynecologists and so on. And now we've got a really good doctor in in Saskatoon that has made great gains in setting up trials and things here in Saskatchewan, finally. So it's really inspiring to see what our money that we raise can do to help in every province. We're called the Wheat Kings and Pretty Things, and my daughter-in-law came up with that idea, kind of in honor of Gordon, what's his name, Gordon Downey from the Tragically Hip, and of course she liked that band, and of course the Wheat Kings and Pretty Things is a Saskatchewan song, or about a Saskatchewan man, David Milgard, who was sent to prison for murder he didn't commit here in Saskatchewan. So it kind of hits home, the Wheat Kings and Pretty Things, and of course Gord Downey passed away from cancer, so it kind of gave a good idea for a name for our team. And with me being from the farm as well, the Wheat Kings really kind of hits home for me. But anyways, yes, we made up t-shirts, and I have some of my friends and family that are able to walk. I do this also to raise awareness and to bring in some money so that my granddaughters and my daughter-in-laws will not have to go through what I've been through. I feel very fortunate. I was only a stage 1 cancer and have now been 6 years cancer-free. So I hope to continue and keep good health going. I would encourage everybody, yes, if you don't feel like doing a bunch of stuff, if you're not even feeling well enough to, you want to participate in some way, that sending out emails really works for me. So I hope that it works for someone else as well.
Thanks, Christine. And I love that idea too about putting some of the advances in research that are happening. Exciting things are happening, so including some of that, as well as including your personal story in that. So we tried to show today the variety of different ways you can fundraise. Again, a lot of different ways, and that goes as well for how you can participate. I know sometimes I get from people that, oh, I'm going to be on holidays or I'm not going to be here. So the beauty of it now is COVID kind of forced us into a new world for a couple of years, and we had virtual walks wherever. And what we found is that virtual walks just work really well for some people. For example, my team, we're Teal Blue Warriors, and my team, we live about an hour and a half from Saskatoon. So they found it a little bit hard to actually get to the walk site on walk day. So they've continued with a virtual walk. So we now have probably 40 or 50 people walking in one location. They've taken it a step further this year and put up some posters. So they're hoping to get some community members around. We've talked a lot about awareness. And I remember during COVID, walking through the town with our team, we all had special t-shirts on, and we got stopped probably 3 or 4 times on the walk, people asking us what we were doing. So again, being able to raise awareness in our home communities, and then handed us a donation. So again, an interesting thought. And if you're unable to get to a walk location, it's just another great opportunity to still be able to participate and to feel involved in that. So I want to thank you all for sharing some of your stories with us. I'm going to pass it back to Amanda to share some new things happening with the walk this year. Again, if you have any questions, we're going to get to those at the end. And I'm going to pass it back over to Amanda now.
Perfect. Thanks, Steph. And thanks to my fellow panelists. That was just such a great example of some of the incredible walkers and team captains that we have across the country and the various ways that you can get involved in fundraise. So I really appreciated all of you sharing those tips and tricks and what you're doing in your local communities. So just making sure my slides back up. Perfect. So whether you're new to the walk this year or you're a returning participant, the goal today is really just to make sure that you have a really good idea of what the walk looks like, how to register, how to participate, some of the new features this year, and some of the tried and true things that we have brought back. So first off, we're starting with what's returning. And you'll see some visuals here to the right of the screen. So our walk kits are $30 at registration, and they're also available online on the website under the Get Involved tab if you happen to not order one during registration and decide that you want to order after the fact, or maybe want to order additional kits for team members, for example, that there is that option. So here's a little bit of a sneak peek there of what to expect in the walk kits. And I know everybody's eagerly awaiting those to arrive. I've heard that they're starting to roll out in people's mailboxes. So keep an eye out. You should start to receive those in the next couple of weeks if you've ordered. One thing to note here on the walk kits is that our Teal sisters, so if you've been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, you do receive a free walk kit. And we want to make sure that you, if possible, get that before walk day, so you have the ability to dress up and, with all of the new swag as you head into the walk site. So make sure you do select that option if that applies to you during registration. And I'll cover that in a moment just to show you where that is. And just another note too, that August 27th is the last day to order a walk kit in order for us to get it to you, to your mailbox before walk weekend. So if you're a Teal sister and you register after this date, we'll have to pick up, you will have to pick up your shirt on site at the walk, but in all cases, if possible, we'll try to get you that kit before walk weekend. What else is back this year? We have team and individual fundraising leaderboards on the website. So you can see on the homepage, which I'll bring up as a visual in a second. You can see the top walkers across the country. Fellow panelist Jennifer Smith is currently the top walker in Canada. And so you'll see her name right up the top there. But it's a really neat way to see, what's happening across the country. You'll also see leaderboards on location pages as well, and then also for the top teams across the country. What else is back? A fully online registration. I'm going to run through that in a moment just to show you how quick and easy it is to get registered for the walk. And we're bringing back our VIP walker program as well. So VIP program is the top 100 walkers at the end of the campaign across the country. They receive a little pin and just some added little bonuses as well for their very special level of participation. Okay, moving on to what is new this year. So if you've been on the website and you are a returning participant, you probably noticed that the website looks a little different. Hoping in a positive way, that's what the feedback that we've been hearing. We have a new design, and it is seems to be for everybody that we've been hearing from, a lot more intuitive and makes it a lot easier to register online. We also have a really great frequently asked questions section on there that will hopefully, if you do have any minor questions or problems as you're registering, hit that section first, because that's a really good source of information that will probably answer some of the questions that you might have. What else is new? We have the Champion Circle this year. This is a new recognition level. It's for walkers that raise $1,000 and more. And so there's a special badge that will appear on your fundraising page if that's a level that you hit, and some other bonuses and benefits as well throughout the campaign. Something new, and my fellow panelist and Stephanie was covering this a little bit earlier about virtual walks. The new feature on the website for virtual walks is that we have broken them down by province this year. So if you want to register virtually because you're not going to attend a location on walk day, or you can't find a location that's close to you, choose your province and register that way. The one thing that will help us as well is if you register this way, what we'll start to do after the campaign is look at trends, right? So if we look at all of the walkers, say in BC, that register virtually, and we happen to see that there's 20 people registering from, the same sort of city that doesn't have a walk, that'll help us with future planning and looking to add walks across the country where we have pockets of walkers that may be walking virtually because they just don't have a location that suits them. Okay, and also new is the registration process, which I'm just going to go to the next slide to go over. Okay, so big news for 2023. If you've registered, you have probably noticed that there is no longer a registration fee to join the walk. No registration fee. In the past, there was a $20 fee just to register and move forward with the process. That is gone. This is our largest national event. We want to make sure it's as inclusive as possible, as barrier-free as possible to join us and participate. So instead of a fee, we're encouraging a self-pledge to kick off your fundraising campaign. So you'll receive a tax receipt for this, and your friends and family are definitely going to be more likely to support and donate to your campaign if they see that first gift that you've made to really commit to the walk and to this fundraising campaign. So see the flow chart here, register, and you choose your location, either in person or virtual. You can choose to start a team or join a team, or join on your own if you're doing a solo campaign. There's different participant types, so adult, child, and Teal Sisters. Once again, all free, no registration fee. There's an option to donate, so to make a self-pledge, and then an option to purchase your walk kit. And I think we have time, so what I'm going to do now is show you the walk website and just run through registration so you can see how quick and easy it is to get registered for the walk. So once you are on the Walk of Hope website, there's a couple of different register buttons. You can't really miss it, but I'll click this one right here, register now. Let's say Jennifer really inspired you today, so you want to register for Victoria. And I am going to take us through the individual, but in case you did want to say join Jennifer's team, for example, you could hit join a team. Her team was the pole walker, so I'm just going to search that. And if you did want to move forward with joining the team and registering that way, you would just click join and then go through the process. But for right now, what I'm going to do is show you how to register as an individual, because it is pretty much the same process after you click that team option. So you click register as an individual, you click your participation type. This is mine. I'm going to keep the fundraising goal at that, but you could raise it up if you wanted or decrease it. Right here, this is where you are going to enter your self-pledge. So for today, I'm going to put that in, and this is where you can order your walk kit. One really important piece here, don't forget to choose your size, because there are t-shirts in these walk kits. Some people do miss this and just go with that default. So unless you want a small shirt, make sure that you go through and select your size here. Click on to the next step. So my information is already populated, but it is just your general information, your first name, last name, email address. Here's a couple of questions that we want you to answer, just so we can learn a little bit more about you. So this one is, what is your connection to Ovarian Cancer Canada and the cause? So you can decide which one reflects you the best. And what area of Ovarian Cancer Canada's work are you most interested in? So research, advocacy, support, education. Why are we asking this? We want to make sure that we are tailoring the information you want to hear about to you, to your personal preferences. So this is going to help us with our future communications to you, so we know what you want to hear most about. So I'm just going to click research for this purpose, agree to the waiver. Next step, and that's it. What I would do is just hit, I'm not going to do it now, I am already registered, but you would complete registration. If you did purchase a walk kit and make a self-pledge, you'll be prompted to enter your credit card information, process it, and there you go, you're registered. At this point, if you wanted to register another participant, so maybe a partner or a child or a friend, someone, you can go ahead and click that and it'll take you through the process again. So, okay. Now, playing a little bit back and forth here, I'm going to go back to my slide deck and just talk about some of the tools and upcoming opportunities. So I'm going to flip back to the website in a moment to talk about this section here, but some of the upcoming opportunities I wanted to highlight just because they are imminent, so they're happening this week, is two things. One is our matching gift campaign. So donations that come in between August 2nd and August 4th are going to be matched dollar for dollar during this period due to a generous gift from a donor. So make sure, if you want to really double that impact, to make those donations between the 2nd and the 4th. And then also we have a contest ongoing right now. So if you're not registered yet and you get registered before August 4th, you will be entered into a draw for this awesome wireless speaker. How cool would this be on like walk day to like, you know, play some like team pump up music or whatever, because it is portable. You could bring that to the walk and play some of your, you know, your team's favorite songs or whatnot at the walk site. And then to talk about some of the tools available to you once you are registered, I am going to pop back to the website. Just, I think it's a little bit easier to show you. I'm just trying to get the right tab though. There we go. Perfect. So once you're registered and you go to the Walk of Hope site, it'll prompt you to log in. So I am logged in. I'm going to click here. That's the walk site I'm registered for. And this is what we call your participant center. So this has everything that you need to run your walk fundraising campaign, whether you're just an individual walker or if you are a team captain or part of a team, it's all here in one spot. So I'll get to some of these pieces in a moment, but the really great thing here that I want to highlight is that if you don't know what to do or how to get started, it gives you this wonderful checklist and you can just click it and it takes you to where you need to go. So for example, what do I do first? I'm going to set up my personal page. Click that. That's going to prompt you to fill in what you want to appear, your story, your words, your, you know, whatever you want to include here that is going to show up on your page. So you could just simply delete it and add in your pieces here and then hit save. That will be the copy that shows up on your personal page. Also, you can choose to change the photo. So you just would go here to update media, choose the file that you want to update. So whatever photo, it could be a photo of you or maybe your team, maybe someone that you're walking for and you know, in support of. And then there's also an option to add a little caption here as well that'll appear under your photo. Okay, that's the personal page. One other thing here that sometimes I think gets a little hidden or like is an oversight, but it is kind of a cool feature, is that you can actually make a personal page URL, because right now, if you see this long, messy URL, it can kind of be a pain to send that, like copy and paste that and send that to your friends and family or whoever you want to support you. So the neat thing is that you can create your own URL. So this has to remain. So this is the static part, but I could put in here Amanda's Walk 2023, for example, and that would be my new URL. So nice, clean, simple. And then that's a nice link that you'll be able to share out with your potential supporters. So if that's not something you've seen in the past, do give it a shot, because it does clean up the process a little bit. Moving back up to the checklist, you can add context to your address book. I'm not going to click that right now. I do have now that I'm realizing I have my personal contacts in there, so I will leave that out right now, but it is very intuitive. You click add to your address book and you can either import your contacts from your email account, or just if you have a couple that you know, you can type them in and add them so you have them all in your address book. After that, you can send emails. What emails can you send? If you don't know where to start, there's a bunch of templates here. So you could send a solicitation, so please support me. You could send a thank you for someone that's made a donation, or you could create your own message. Either way, you do have the ability to go through and take stuff out, add stuff in, whatever you want to do. Yeah, and then you would just go ahead, preview and send. If it's something that you've created yourself, you could save it as a template so you could use it in the future for additional messages. Your recipients go up here and you can pull those right from your address book. Really quick and easy to send those emails. I mean, just ask Christine. This is how she does her, that's what she said. That's how she runs her campaign. And so it is possible to just do this and use this tool and see some fundraising success. Same thing, back to that checklist. I just clicked stay in touch with your donors. It does take you to the same spot. This is going to tell you with the people you need to follow up with. This is how many contacts I have. This is how many need follow up. This is how many unthanked donors I have. It really will prompt you to take the next action. So you don't, have to keep track of everything yourself. It does keep track here in the system. Okay, setting your fundraising goal. You'll see I did that upon registration a few moments ago, but just say you are Jennifer and you are just smashing that goal and you've already surpassed it and you think that you want to push your team a little bit further or push yourself a little bit further. What you can do here is change your goal at any time. So just say I've raised the 250 and I want to bump it up to 500. I could just go ahead, type that in and hit save, and that would go ahead and update that for me. Okay, a couple other pieces here. This is your fundraising progress. You'll see that I have a lot of work to do this coming month. We've been really busy getting the walk organized, and I need to take some time this month to focus on my own fundraising campaign. And so that's where you'll see how much you've raised. This is where you'll see what badges you've earned, which show up on your personal page as well. This one is the self-pledge badge, but there are some for other badges that you'll see that you can accumulate for different actions. And this is the personal donation section. And this is one that I wanted to focus on for a minute. If we have time, I think we do. So just say that you have cash and checks that you've collected from various, initiatives like Jennifer mentioned, doing those other activities, right? That you're doing in your community. You might accumulate some cash and checks that you want to reflect here in the personal donation section. Because they're not online donations, they do need to be sent to Ovarian Cancer Canada's office, which I will show you where to find the address in a moment, in check form, so that we can process those donations and receipt them accordingly and all of that. So if you want them to show up on your personal page though, because just say you collected a couple $100 of donations, that'll really, push you over the edge, get you closer to your goal, and you want maybe to show that on your page. So you're just going to click add. You're going to enter the name, last name, all of the information here for the gift, the amount, payment type. Let's just say it's a check, enter the check number, and then I would go ahead and save, add, or if I wanted to add more, I could save and add another. What that is going to do is that is going to accumulate here in your personal donations, but it actually won't be confirmed until we receive it at the office. So it is important to make sure you package up those checks. Don't send cash. So if you could cover that cash that you have with maybe a personal check, that is the ideal way to do it. Obviously, we don't want to be sending cash through the mail. So I am just going to pop back up to the downloadable resources section so I can show you where to download the pledge form. Right here, it will pop up in a new window, which is giving me a little bit trouble on pulling up. There it is. Perfect. So you will see this is our pledge form. So if you have those cash and check donations that you want to make sure that are receipted, so your donors want their tax receipt, make sure that you fill out this pledge form and accompany that with the checks that you send into the office, and all of the information that you need to know to send that in is down here. Obviously, ideal to do as much digital online fundraising as possible. It's immediate. You get that immediate tax receipt as well through email, but reality is there is still that offline fundraising. So this is the best way to go about it to ensure that your donors are thanked and receipted properly. And then I will just quickly pop back to that other, the downloadable resources link I clicked here. There are tons of tools here to help you along with your fundraising. So there's a letter of support and thanks template if you want to do some offline sending. I know, Jennifer, you were mentioning sending some cards and things like that. So there's templates here if you want to use those to get started. Lots of great fundraising tips and tools. And so if you want to look at other ways to support your campaign, there's a couple of different resources here for fundraising and also for team building if you're a team captain. Some social media tips and tools, really great here. If you want to, I hope that's perfect, it did. There is a whole social media kit. So there is great resources for Instagram and Facebook, some information on how to join the Facebook group for your local walk is here as well, just to get the latest news and information on what's happening with your location. But then also, sorry, this is not the best way to go about this. There are a lot of great, so you'll see here, Facebook and Instagram images, tons of great visuals to just save and add to your social media to save you from having, you don't have to be a graphic designer or anything like that. You can just save these, add them to your social media, link to your personal fundraising campaign, and done, right? So don't feel like you need to start from scratch. We're here to support you. If you don't happen to see what you're looking for in those tools and resources, reach out to us. You know, maybe it's something that we can create and that will be helpful for other walkers as well. And even going beyond just the tools and resources, if you're having trouble registering or creating your team, anything you can think of, our team is here to help. We really are. We're really excited about Walk this year. It's our first year sort of fully back in person. We've got a really great team of staff to support you all across the country. And yeah, we're just so excited for Walk Weekend and to get out there and see everybody in their teal in the local community. So I think that's it for me, unless any questions came in, Steph.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. I want to really thank you for walking us through that. I loved that. I learned a few things as well. I didn't know that I could change the URL to something really simple and cool. So thank you for sharing that. And I will confirm that Amanda has an amazing team who answers any questions. I just got a phone call this morning. Someone had a question. She said, oh, just send it to me. We'll get it all figured out for her. So if you have any problems registering or with donations or anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to any one of us and we'll make sure that we get those problems solved. The other thing I did want to say, Amanda mentioned an important date. If you haven't yet registered for the walk, get registered, and you have to do that before August the 27th in order to get your teal sister kit in the mail. So that has a whole bunch of great stuff in there, but you're also going to get your t-shirt, which then you can wear before and also wear at the walk. And Amanda, you said it, Christine, everyone has said it on the call, just have fun with it. I've been to lots of walks where teams have costumes. I've seen people walk in tutus. Christine, I know in Regina, Kathy Zarkowicz has had a pair of teal bloomers and a teal tutu for the walk day. So you can really go and, pardon me, just have a lot of fun with it. So I don't know if there are any questions out there. So we now have time. I don't have any in the Q&A box, but if there's anybody on the call that would like to unmute and ask a question, we have about 5 or 10 minutes and would love to hear from you. Even if it's not a question, maybe you just have some thoughts you'd like to share or share anything in particular about your team or your walk. We would love to hear that now. Yeah, and Christine, Jennifer and Meredith, please, you also go ahead if there's anything else you'd like to add.
And maybe we could just start off with, I see Beatrice has her hand up. So Beatrice, I'm going to just allow you to talk now. Should see the prompt come up on your screen.
You just need to unmute Beatrice and then you can.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, okay. Hi, thank you so much everyone for the very, very good information. I have a question for Amanda. So before May, I saw the notice and I registered immediately on May. But my first time, I put myself as virtual, but then I wanted to do the walk. I live in Pickering. And so I didn't touch anything yet because I said, oh, there's probably more information. I tried to call, but I said, they're probably working on it. So I said, oh, there's something going on. And, you know, so today I was going to go into into the website because I closed mine. I didn't open it. I registered, I created a team, but I haven't emailed my team yet. So I know some of my friends are in the States and they are also very, you know, happy to donate. So is that okay? Number one question is that's okay. They could register too, or just donate, right? American?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So that's completely fine. And did you say you want to change your walk location, or did I not hear that correctly?
No, yeah,
Oh.
I registered as an virtual walk,
Right.
but I also want to do the walk in Pickering. I saw the name before, but I didn't see it in your slides. Is it closed now? Like, or what is going on with Pickering?
Pickering.
Ontario.
I'm
Ontario.
trying to think if that's captured in, my geography is terrible. Pickering, would that be captured in the?
That's
Durham,
in Ontario, Durham, yeah, Ajax. Oh,
Yes,
Ajax.
that
Oh,
walk
that's
is
probably
happening.
Ajax, yeah.
Yes,
It is?
it is. And so what we can do is we can switch your walk location for you if that's something you want. If you want to move from a virtual walker to be registered for the Durham region walk, we can do that.
But there would also be some people who would be doing the virtual, so can I do I don't know.
Why don't you think on it? And then when you decide which way you want to go, you let us know.
But they could still, like those who wouldn't wanna walk could still go to and donate, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll do the site then,
Okay, great.
Yeah. Ajax. So how
Okay.
do I go on to change it?
I'm on it. We'll take
Oh.
care of it.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Beatrice, for the question.
thank you.
Anybody else have any thoughts or maybe a story of the walk they'd like to share or anything? Yeah, and I think you can see there if anyone has their hand up.
Nothing's coming up yet, Steph, but I know one of the things that I'm looking at doing this year is every month a group of girlfriends and I go out for dinner. And so for August, instead of going out for dinner, they're actually going to all come to my house, and the money that they would have spent on dinner is going to come to Ovarian Cancer Canada. We're going to have as it so happens, we're going to have an afternoon tea in the evening because of my background as a server at a tea room when I was younger. So there's great opportunities to look for little ways like that to just change a habit or do something little like that, which is going to make an impact overall as well.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Marianne. And again, you can get so creative with this. And like you say, you meet anyway. It's just a way to put a little twist on it. One final thing I will share is I know Kaylee Crawford, who is our VP of programs, her daughter last year did a lemonade stand. So she and her friend made some signs and got some cold drinks and set up a lemonade stand, and I think raised about $300. So again, something simple that's fun and a good way to involve your kids or your grandkids. Just another idea. So that is all of the time that we have for today. I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank all of you panelists for joining us today. We really appreciate you, Meredith and Jennifer and Christine, for sharing your stories with us. We're really excited about WALK and look forward to seeing all of your pictures and photos. Don't forget to take lots and to tag us in the posts that you make with that. And we will look forward to seeing you all at the Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk of Hope on September the 10th.